Hi everyone, I've noticed some new faces around here. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. I'm guessing that some of you decided that 2020 is going to be the year you get better at money and you downloaded your free trial of YNAB. So I wanted to take the opportunity to answer some commonly asked questions from new YNABers. I'll answer each question briefly, but I'm also going to have timestamps down below and link you to some amazing resources. And if I could give you one takeaway from this video, it is that we are here for you, we are rooting for you, and we want you to gain total control of your money this year. So let's go ahead and start with question number one. How do I start? The first step is to realize that you need a budget. So you've already done that, which is fantastic. I remember being there and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I started out by reading the You Need a Budget book. I feel like it gave me a really solid foundation and it helped me to change my mindset when it came to money. So after I read the book, I downloaded the app, and it's a lot facing your financial situation and learning an app at the same time. So I turned to the live free workshops. Dave taught the ones I took, and he is so good. All of our teachers are. So you're getting live instruction and demonstration from people who know the app inside and out, and then at the end they open it up for questions. So I definitely asked my share of questions, and it was really helpful. Something new that wasn't around when I got started are the video courses. We have 3 right now. We have one for starting your YNAB budget, another for using your budget, and then one that goes over the 4 rules for less money stress. And it's really those rules, that's our method. And if you can embrace them and implement them in your own life, in your own budget, that's what's gonna make all the difference this year. Question number 2 is, how do I enter my income? And this was my biggest hurdle when I got started. I had budgeted with apps in the past, and I would think to myself, well, I expect to make this amount of money this month. Let me go through and budget that all out. That is forecasting. YNAB says that you only budget money you currently have. So if I have $500 in my checking account, that's all I have to budget with. And this really took me a while to figure out, and it finally clicked when I took the workshop called Budgeting While Broke. We're currently teaching that workshop, and we also have a recording of it on our YouTube channel. But when I stopped budgeting with future money, I feel like I got better at prioritizing and I started making better spending decisions. So if I'm not forecasting, how do I plan ahead? I use the goals feature in YNAB. I have a goal for pretty much every single category. So when I get paid next, I'll go in, I'll add that paycheck, and with the new money I have to budget, I will add funds to each one of those goals. So if you're budgeting with money you currently have, you don't need to wait until your next payday to start or until the beginning of the month. YNAB works with any pay cycle, and it starts working whenever you're ready to start. Question number 3, it's a new month, and now I'm confused. And before I begin answering this, Ben has the best video where he walks you through step by step everything I'm getting ready to tell you. So I will link that. I highly recommend watching it. But there's really only a couple things to know about the turning over of a new month. The first is that all of your overspending will disappear. If you overspend in cash, let's say as an example, I overspent dining out by $20 in December. So if I'm looking at December's budget, I'll see that negative $20 displayed in red. But if I click over to January, the balance is 0. So what happened? YNAB automatically deducted the $20 from January's to be budgeted. Let's say I did the same thing, but I had used a credit card. December's category balance would be displayed in orange, and that $20 was added to my credit card balance. Now, if you can't cover the overspending in the same month that it occurs, you'll need to budget directly to the credit card payments category to pay back the debt. During the monthly rollover, your budgeting amounts will also disappear. And this just means it's time to budget again. So you can go through and do line by line, category by category, or you can use the quick budget. Something else happens during the monthly rollover. Any positive amounts in categories will simply be carried over and be there sitting, waiting for you in the new month. Question number 4 is, direct import isn't working. Now what? Direct import makes sure that you have all of your transactions in YNAB. Transactions import once they've cleared your bank, which can take a day or 2. So for that reason, I don't love to rely on it. I want to be able to know exactly what's going on in my budget at the time it happens. So if I'm out shopping and I buy something, I add it to my budget. If I buy gas, I add it to my budget. That way I'm not having to wait on my bank. And when those purchases finally clear and are imported, YNAB is super smart and matches them all up. And I love so much when my manually entered transactions match up with the imported ones. It makes me feel like I have life together a little bit. Direct import is amazing, but there are a lot of moving parts, and sometimes the process needs troubleshooting. Sometimes banks change things on their end. So if your connection stops working, I have a guide for you, and I would also recommend reaching out to the YNAB support staff. They are incredible and they will go to the ends of the earth to help you. So whether you are using direct import, you like to do everything manually, or you're like me and you like to do both, we are here to help. I love this next question. What about savings? When Rule 1 says give every dollar a job, that includes savings dollars. Before YNAB, I would think to myself, well, I should be a good person, a responsible person, and save. So I'd get paid and I'd take some of that money and put it in a savings account, and I feel really good about myself for a while. But as the month went on and my checking account got lower and lower, I'd start to feel nervous. So I'd pull some money back from savings over to checking, and it was this cycle I could never get out of, so my savings account never grew. But when I started naming what I was saving for, everything changed. So the more specific I was, the more successful I became. I save for fun things like vacation. I save for things like car maintenance and job loss. And if you open up my budget, you can see where each one of those savings dollars is allocated to. Question number 6 is, what is this age of money thing? On our YouTube channel, Hannah has 4 videos where she goes over each of the 4 rules. I remember when these were released, I wasn't working at YNAB at the time, and I thought they were so funny and so good, especially Rule 4. So I will have that linked. Definitely take the time to watch it. But if I could tell you one thing about aging your money, it's that young money, so money that has just come in, you've just gotten a paycheck and you already need to spend it. That young money doesn't instill any sense of security. When Jeremy and I first got married, I thought things were fantastic. We both had stable jobs, we bought this townhouse, we ate out whenever we felt like it, but we experienced a job loss. And still to this day, I cannot believe how quickly things got bad. We went from having no worries to not being able to make the car payment. And that's because our money was so young. It was the definition of living paycheck to paycheck. As soon as we got paid, we spent the money. That's why it's really important to me to have a buffer. When a paycheck comes in, it just gets to sit for a while before it's used. And I love being in one month and being able to budget into the next month. That way, should anything ever happen again, it's not an immediate crisis. We have a little bit of time to figure things out. So those are some of the most frequently asked questions from new YNABers. I didn't touch on credit cards today, but Kelly has some fantastic tutorials I'll link for you. And that's a topic I'd like to dive into a little bit deeper on this channel. I love how YNAB treats credit cards. Actually, for a long time, I was too nervous to use credit cards, and YNAB gave me that confidence. So I love talking about credit cards. But I'm gonna end this video by saying I'm excited for you, and we are here to help and support. If you have any questions, please leave those down below. I wish you all the best, and I wish you very happy budgeting.